know Doctor Who? And if you don't, then you can go.
Right, hello guys, watching Go.2, and today we're going to do Torchwood month again. We're on Miracle Day, the last video on the channel of Torchwood month. So yeah, let's get into it. If you haven't already, check out Series 1, Series 2, Series 3. My reviews are on the channel, check them out. Anyway, I'm just going to give spitballs of what I liked throughout this whole series, and I'm going to go now. I'm currently rewatching it, and I'm in episode 5, so I will stop off at that point and watch the rest of the series and come back to this video and add my two thoughts together. So let's get into it. I like the miracle. I like how everyone can't die, the numbers are building up, the hospitals are getting rammed, and they have to work things differently. They have to do the people, they've got all the time in the will to heal these people now, so let's get rid of the people who don't need the hospital beds the most. They're having to work around that. We also know that if the insects were immortal as well, they'd be up to here by now, by the amount of people, about creatures that are getting reborn as well and not dying. So it's only humanity. Cats and dogs still can die, but humans can't, and it happens simultaneously across the world. How did this happen? So many questions, so many build-ups. I love it. I have bad memories of Miracle Day. I really never give it enough good vibes. I always slack it down and go, oh, Miracle Day, oh. But I've been rewatching it and actually really enjoying it. I don't know whether I was in the mood for it, or because I don't class it as a Torchwood episode, I kind of think it's something completely different in a way in my eyes. Especially when Captain Jack says Torchwood was dead. It is dead. And now they're bringing a new Torchwood team into it. It kind of feels like a fresh start, a new beginning, which I kind of like now. I never really liked that before. We get Rex, the CIA agent, and we get this other woman, this blonde woman who I don't know, and I'm just going to say she's a blonde woman who helps quite a lot. She's quite interesting and lovely. We also get this doctor and seeing how she copes. She's Rex's girlfriend's partner / something or other. She's an interesting character. We get to see how it copes with the hospitals. Captain Jack being immortal. I'm sorry, getting a scratch in his arm and not being able to heal. And then on the plane scene, he's on the plane and he's like, and he's just completely dying of that. I mean, it's interesting. It's so interesting to see Captain Jack in that scenario we've never seen before. And we've also got this woman who is working against the CIA agents and working for this corporation, and we get to see them in play. Captain Jack and Gwen's been locked up by episode 4 of the episode. There's a lot going on. Episodes with the rapist scenario with, I think, yeah, he gets killed, he gets drained, but he's still alive because of the miracle, so he gets released. Interesting, and everyone hating him, but everyone's starting to love him by episode 5. It's mind-blowing and dark and twisting, and you can definitely see the government are still angry at Torchwood and still after them, so Gwen is having to live on her own with Reese and try and sort that out. And Gwen is so paranoid she hasn't even seen her parents. The parents said when they were at the hospital visiting Gwen's dad, oh, I haven't seen this baby since she was born. That's how long it's been. They haven't seen each other, and it's so upsetting. And then they're having to have code words with the police officer. I love that guy, the police officer. He's so lovable. And then he can give him codes, but then that is the downfall how the NCIS finds Gwen, because he gave a code to talk about Gwen's dad. And visiting Gwen's dad, I like that it's the same mom and dad. They could change the characters now. It's Americanized show for Miracle Day. They've still got the same Gwen and Gwen's mom and dad from Series 2, I love that, and they're brilliant characters, and we get to see more of them later on. Captain Jack experiences immortality. He's having sex, but he has to say, have you got protection? He's never really had to deal with that, never had to do that before, and like all these viruses could actually kill him because he hasn't really got the immune system to fight it off. Interesting. Gwen being a badass on Welsh. Bam! Love that. She's such a badass. She's Torchwood blowing up that helicopter. So lovely. The tone of Torchwood, I don't like. I'm going to admit it. Still don't like it. It doesn't feel like Torchwood. It feels completely Americanized. And when I say Americanized, you can definitely tell it's in a Welsh setting. And you love that. And I love it when they revisit Welsh. But it doesn't work that well when it's in America. and the NCIS is like an NCIS show, you know? These characters are interesting. We learn more. You see how people are coping with the immortality, and we want to know who's done this. What's the deal? And we will find out very soon. I'm on episode 5 at the moment. Just going to check my notes really quickly, just so I haven't missed anything. Oh yes, there's different levels of people dying. They're doing death camps and burning the bodies. They're going to start doing that. It's set in America. Torchwood no more. Love that. Gwen's dad. No healthcare. That's interesting as well. Obviously, in the climate we are now with the coronavirus, we need healthcare. Hospitals not coping. The plane scene, loved it. Rex is a badass. Rapist still alive and famous. And American animals not getting immortality. Just humans. No one dying. So interesting seeing people die and then still being alive. Someone blowing themselves up. NCIS cooperated. Someone's working against the NCIS and intriguing them. Jack human now, kind of human, like immortality isn't there. Jack travels. Right, don't read. I can't read my own writing for that. Gwen as a mom, so lovely. Gwen as a dad. Reese as a dad. Basically telling Gwen, you have a child now. Leave this Torchwood life behind. And the government. And 12 months ago since Children on Earth. Interesting. I'm on episode 5, so I'm going to pause this video here. And in a couple days' time, once I've watched the final 5 parts, I'll get back to this video and tell you the rest of my opinions. But so far from episode 5, I'm really enjoying it, which I didn't think I would. Hopefully this continues. I'll see you guys in a minute. For you, it'll be a matter of seconds. But yeah, see you guys in a minute for episode 5 to 10. Right, I've just watched the final part, so let's just get on to it quickly, because this video is getting on a bit. So, basically, we see the government controlling life or death. They can put these in these camps, and they can say who can live and who can die with certain levels, and level 1 is the worst to go down. And they're trying to put Gwen's dad in level 1, and then Gwen managed to escape with Reese's dad and put him at home, but eventually get caught out, and they have to say goodbye to Gwen's dad eventually anyway, and Reese is there to say goodbye, and it's so lovely how Reese is there. And also Andy, the policeman, visits another girl, and when she passes away, and when Gwen brings death back to life, sort of thing. So that was a nice little thread, and shows the emotion how Gwen's family has been torn apart because of this. Also, we've got the government, yes, choosing life or death. Burnt alive, yes. So what they're doing with these level 1s are they're burning people alive. And this woman was investigating, helping from Torchwood, the doctor woman, and she was working with Captain Jack. She finally joined Torchwood and was obviously Rex's bird. And basically she went to investigate, and this camp leader was getting told off by her, and he got angry and he shot her. And then he was like, oh God, what do I do now? And then he basically put in the level 1 camp. She was certainly not level 1. She was just a shot. She could easily be saved. But no, he put her in the level 1 camp and burnt her alive. And when he walked off, Rex was there recording it. And it was destroying him as he was recording it. But it was so shocking to see this dark person. We saw this woman helping everyone by 5 episodes in. And then she'd get killed off like that. It was so dark. And I loved that Torchwood could do that. And of course the camera got destroyed by the camp leader, who took Rex and tried to kill Rex. And then also tried to kill this other person as well. The woman, the blonde woman who was helping with Rex, Esther. And Esther eventually gets killed off as well. Gwen's dad, we've talked about that. Jack's boyfriend from the past. We learn about Jack's boyfriend from the past, and it's kind of the answer why Miracle Day actually happened. We're starting to get flashbacks by episode 8 of flashbacks of Jack's boyfriend and them coming together, but then Jack dies in front of him, and he can't cope for that because Jack's back again, and he's like, how did you survive? What? How? And I love that. And it plays on, and it gets darker and darker, because then Jack keeps on getting murdered by people, and it's because of his boyfriend giving them to these 3 people. And these 3 family members joins forces for the future 3 family members doing the Miracle Day. So it's the answer. Jack's boyfriend kind of did stuff, and then Jack is owned by these 3 family members who later on down the line, their family start the Miracle Day. Also, we get to see Jack's boyfriend as an older man in his deathbed sort of thing, and he dies in front of Jack, and then there's these panels that are linked to the Torchwood hub and showing that his boyfriend's been watching him the whole time. And then we have the actual Miracle Day itself being stopped because of these panels, and Jack reversing with it so he could talk to his Torchwood team members. Yes, and that's just interesting. Next up we got Jack as an older man. Yes, 3 men, we've talked about that. The Torchwood hub with the panels, talked about that. Just checking my notes really quickly to keep me on track. Oh yes, the line in the world. So we've got Argentina and Haishang? What is it? I can't know. There's 2 basically one end of the earth and the other end, and there's a crack running through, which is called the Blessing, the Miracle Day, and it is basically being controlled by these 3 family members who have found this and know how to use it, and they're using it, and they managed to bring back immortality. They managed to make everyone immortal because the crack's alive, and it was giving a gift. It thought, because it was being tortured, it would give a gift to them to be kind, and it gave everyone immortality. With that, obviously the answer was that Captain Jack needed to be at one end and the other blood needed to be at the other end to fix this and send it through the crack, which was Rex and Captain Jack. We'll get onto that in a minute. We learn about Captain Jack's blood, of course. Rex and Jack's blood. Rex puts Jack's blood inside him. Yes, and the crack. Right, that's it. Let's talk about the ending now. So there's quite a lot that's gone on. I'm picking variable points because there's been 10 episodes. The ending. We've got the psychopath, rapist, murderer with the gun, with the bomb, ready to blow us all up. Quite dark. And then we have these 3 family members get defeated, and rightfully so, although they do kind of leave on a cliffhanger saying they have a plan B. Please don't have a plan B. This woman who we hate survives, but before that, the bomb, the crazy man blows himself up, and rightfully so, he deserves to die. But we've got the other Torchwood team, Rex and Esther. Esther gets killed, shot, and she's dead-ish. She's still obviously immortal at this point, but they're trying to stop immortality, so they're gonna kill her if they do this. And of course Gwen talks Rex round to it. They have their last goodbyes and all sorts like that. Before I do that, they mentioned the Sycorax and they mentioned Solarians, and they also mentioned the Doctor quite a bit throughout these last 5 episodes, and I loved that. Yes, so Jack's blood, ready to kill himself, last more mortality blood, changing the crack, making the crack change everyone back to normal. Does that, and simply so, Jack has brought immortality back, and Rex does the same, and Jack's blood comes out of him, and Rex is dead. And then Jack's dead, and Jack gets brought back to life by a miracle, the mortality, and the place is crashing down, and the guy's about to blow up, and boom. They all see Esther's funeral. Rex is still there, and I have a video on this, and I highly recommend you checking it out. Basically, my video says why Rex got resurrected. I won't say it in this video because I want you to check it out. It's only 5 minutes long, and you won't regret it. I have solved why Rex gets resurrected at the end of this, and the cliffhanger. I have solved it, and it's so obvious, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So check my video out on Series 4 Cliffhanger Resolved. That's what the video is called. Series 4 title. Series 4 Cliffhanger Resolved. Check it out on the channel, Torchwood. It's on a Torchwood file. You should definitely check it out because you won't regret it. Anyway, Rex gets killed in the funeral and gets resurrected. I won't say my opinion on that because I know the results, and you should check the video out. And we're left with a cliffhanger of Rex being alive, and that's it, really. And yeah, I'm going to give this out of 10. I hated this at the start. I really thought it drags on, it's boring. I've never really enjoyed it. This is the first rewatch I've watched and I've absolutely loved it. My mind has completely changed on this story, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Originally a 5 out of 10. It drags, it's boring. It's not boring if you really pay attention, and I was loving it. These 10 episodes flew by. Normally they take forever. I can't believe I was in the mood to really enjoy this, and I really do. So yes, 8 out of 10. And that's the end of my review of each series. You should check them all out and check out that video because you don't want to miss how Rex gets resolved in the cliffhanger. And finally, next month we've got monster ranking of Torchwood. We're talking about the team of Torchwood, and we're also doing worst 5 episodes of Torchwood and the best 5 episodes of Torchwood. So you don't want to miss that on the channel next month. So subscribe, you definitely don't want to miss it, and I'll see you guys for another video. Stay safe.